Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, Legionnaires, and any new recruits. All right, today in front of you, we have a copy of a Busse knife in 5CR steel. That is confirmed. And I just want to let everybody know, but hey, for the price that I paid for it, 35 bucks, let's give it a test and see how it performs. All right, troops, what's everybody carrying today? Well, once again, I am carrying my Dispatch Knives drop point folder. I'm digging this knife. What do you all have? Veterans, active military, just want to say thank you very much for your service. Enjoy this video. Troops, let's get this over with. Quick specs. Once again, this is a Busse Clone. Overall length is 12.6 inch. Blade length is 7.28 inch. Blade steel is 5CR15. Blade design is a drop point. Blade finish is Stonewash. Blade hardness is 62 HRC. Blade thickness is 6 millimeters. Handle length is 5.31 inch. Handle material is Nylon Fiberglass. The weight is 23.8 ounces. It features a full tang, comes with a kydex sheath, and some form of a belt system that's not very good, and I will show you that. And it does have some lanyard holes, which is pretty nice. Now, I just want to thank subscriber John for getting me a link to a proper area and description and awesome measurements for this knife. And it is confirmed once again that it is 5CR15 steel. But you know what? We're going to test it out anyway. For the price that I paid for, why not? Let's take a real quick look at this blade. Beautiful drop point, a decent sized finger choil, a bit of a guard. These are the nylon fiber handles. All right, they are nicely textured. They have this kind of intricate design. 2 lanyard holes over here, and it's got a bird beakish type area. The ergonomics feels good. The fit and finish on this knife, I'd say, is about 95 to 98%. Okay, it is sharp. I did do some stropping and some maintenance on it, some honing. As of right now, it's sharp and it will cut paper. You can go check out the Legion premiere of this knife so you get a better idea of the information. Let's take a look on the opposite side. I mean, it looks good. It's got a, mid-saber grind, a nice swedge. It's got a little, thumb groove over here, no jimping. We're going to test to see if the spine is sharp. For the price I paid, it's not a bad knife for a clone. Now, let's take a look at the sheath. Let me just prop this up over here for everybody. The sheath is not that great, troops. Well, the kydex is, the belt system is not. It is horrible. However, the kydex sheath is decent. There is a little bit of rattle. Once again, go check out my Legion premiere on this knife. It does have the slots. It has some rivets. You could put a pouch over here, or you could put a third-party option. My recommendation for the price that anyone is going to pay for this, see if you could find something third-party. It does have a belt clip over here that you could use instead of this nylon. This nylon piece comes completely off. It removes. I suggest you use this. I just think this looks cool. It looks cool, but it functions like garbage. Now, let's pop the knife in. There is a bit of a rattle. You hear that? However, it does stay in the sheath. If you're talented enough, you could take a heat gun or a hair dryer, put it on a high heat setting, and fix this sheath. But initial impressions, the knife looks good. Now we're going to test this nice thick log. I picked that log on purpose. We are putting this knife to the test and see how it holds up with 5CR. All right, troops, I'm not holding back, man. You can see this is a pretty substantial log. It's a substantial size knife, and it deserves the respect that it should have, and that should be able to get through this. Now, I did chop through something similar in size, so let's put it on camera. Okay, so obviously it's a clone, so the original designer did make it nice and ergonomical. I do feel a little hot spot here by the pinky when I'm chopping. I do have a pair of gloves. I'm going to try them both with and without gloves and see how it works out. But let's continue. I'm going to concentrate on chopping and not doing a lot of talking unless I need to. And it's important that I maintain focus on this one because I want to make sure that this knife is not going to hurt me for any reason. I am letting the knife do the job. I'm not going to sit here and bash my way through this. In my opinion, something this size should be doing the work, okay? Not me, not muscling through it. But so far so good. It's early and we're looking okay with the edge. It's a nice dried out log. Sit back, get your favorite drink, because this might take a little while. Now I do notice that because of the texturing, it's this FRN handle, the way they decide to texture it, it is a little bit on the slippery side. It's not as grippy as I thought it was going to be now that I'm swinging at it. So good for you all to know. Once again, I'm going to try and use every part of the blade. Let's just take a quick look. Right now, this blade is still straight. We're looking good. I might have to put on gloves because, like I said, it's a little slick. So give me a second. I'm going to put on some gloves and we'll continue. Let's hope these gloves aren't going to be slippery. Oh wow, I'm going through a knot, didn't even notice. Now, because I'm not muscling through this, I just want everybody to see that the edge is actually doing the work, okay? I'm not pounding this on purpose. So far the edge is doing its job. I'll tell you what, this is definitely hurting my pinky area, even with the gloves on. Okay, edge check. That's looking good. Okay, you don't see any kind of deformities. We're looking good so far. So, and it's still taking out the chunks over here. Let's keep going. Sticking, the wood is sticking onto the blade. We're looking good so far. We're looking good. There were a couple of reviewers on AliExpress that said that the knife was, you know, they didn't believe it was DC53 steel, but they said that the knife did well with the chopping. So I'm going through that knot. Definitely biting in. You can see the knot right here, that it just took out half. Let's keep on going through. So that should be a nice hard spot right there. Now I'm noticing that the center of this wood is getting harder than the outside. These gloves are, you know, make it just as slippery. So I'll probably take them on and off, on and off. So let me do that. But yeah, man, my pinky, you feel a little hot spot from this little bird's beak area over here for sure. Oh, much better grip now. There we go. That was a nice angle cut. Let's keep looking at this blade. I don't see any deformity whatsoever, okay? Let's keep going. Just letting the blade do the job, okay? I'm letting the secondary edge do the work also, you know? Let's see. Still feels kind of sharp. All right, you can see the discoloration in the blade where the sweet spot is. Now, I know a lot of you aren't going to do this kind of work with a knife. I know that some of you are against it, but if you know that a $35 knife can do this type of a job and survive, might not be so bad. Okay, you could see it's just chipping away at this, you know? And I'm not pounding on it. It's just chipping away. If you notice, the blade is not bouncing off the wood. So that's a good sign for me. Look at that slice right there. Can you see that? It's still cutting. Okay, not blunting the wood or anything like that. So that's a good sign. Let's see, let's take a look. No, man. That blade is still straight, no edge deformity, no bending. Okay. Look at the way it's just eating away at this now, man. And that's hard. This is a hard wood. And we're almost through here. Not bad for 35 bucks, man. Now, while I have you in camera, let's see if I could do a real nice close-up for you all. Okay, I know it's early in the testing, but no deformity. All right, no chips, no dents, at least not yet. Let's move on. All right, troops, I've got two pieces of wood there. The one on the left that you see is a piece that I just picked up where a whole bunch of stumps are. So I have some smaller pieces. I'm gonna try do some batoning with that. The piece of wood on the right, we just chopped through, okay? You see a small stick there, and you see my Centurion club over there. Just to show everybody, so far, after that beating, still making curls. All right, so that's good. Now, I'm gonna try going through this first, and then we're gonna do some horizontal batoning. It's gonna be a long video, but I wanna put this knife to the test because, you know, those that are gonna, you know, spend the money on this knife, if you do decide to purchase it, I wanna make sure that you know that you're gonna get a decent budget blade, even if it's 5 CR. You know, but then it's up to you whether you want to purchase it or not. So let's get started. Here she is, troops. Now, I know I'm biting off more than I can chew, but it's a test, man. It's a test. I want to make sure that for those who are going to purchase this blade, that it's worth your money. You can see it's splitting. So at least we know it's a nice dry piece of wood. I have no choice. I'm going to have to, you know what? Let me take this out. And first things first, let's show everybody. Yeah, looks good, man. Looks good. So let's turn it over. And let me get an idea where the split is. It's right about, okay, saying right about there. Well, let's give it a go. Okay, we're almost through this sucker. So let's do half in, half out. The handles took a bit of a beating, but just scuffs. Nice, nice job. Do it again. Pick that up in a second, troops, but once again, let's take a look at this edge. And you know I'm using the whole blade on this huge log. So far, so good. Let me just pick up that other half because I want to quarter that too. All right. And you see I'm pounding on this thing. I'm not holding back. All right. There you go, man. Firewood. Okay, for those a little nervous about using an axe. Now, I'm only testing wood. I don't have any paper. My philosophy is I really don't give a shit about testing paper out in the woods. It's, will this edge still hold up after that abuse? And then do the more finer tasks. Okay? Okay, very cool, man. Looking good. Now I just want to do a horizontal baton of that big log, and we'll see what happens from there. So far, so good. I'm going to do some horizontal batoning. Okay, I'm going to see, utilizing the whole blade, what this can do. So let me just get the Centurion baton right over here, this big bad boy, and let's see how it works out, man. Split and split. So far, so good. Now to get this thing out of here. Looking good, looking good. Just pry off some of this bark over here so I could see where the split is. All right, so let's keep going. Ah, this thing is full of ants. Sorry about that. Okay, just so you all see, it's starting to split a different way, but it still is splitting the wood here. All right, once again, that edge, I'm gonna let it glisten. That edge is looking good. Okay. I mean, we're looking good, man. I mean, there's really nothing I could tell you any different than what you're witnessing. 35 bucks, man. All right, let me just position this so you see the split. You saw it for yourself, what this knife did. Let's turn it around. Let's split the other side. There we go. Look at that. Okay. That's pretty cool in my book. Let me show you while in camera. Just make sure I'm in camera here. Oh, there we go. There you go. No deformity, no chips. No nothing. 35 bucks for this knife, man. 5 CR no less. 5 CR. All right, well, listen. You know, as far as batoning goes, I'm good. I don't need to prove anything else with batoning. That knife is killer with chopping and batoning. Let's move on. All right, troops, I want to make some feather sticks. And I started using this piece of wood, but it's kind of wet. You know, I didn't want to give anybody any false impressions, but you know, even if the wood is wet, it seems to be slicing nice. Okay. But again, I found a drier piece over here. Let me test it out. Let me pick that up first. All right, let's see if I have better luck now. Seems pretty dry on the inside. I don't know what species this is, but seems okay. Just testing out the tip over here. It's splitting the wood, so it can't be that dry. I mean, that wet. But, all right, I think it's okay. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Making the individual curls. All right, looks okay. I mean, it's making the curls. It feels sharp to me, man. I mean, this will cut flesh for sure. I gotta say, it's a big blade to be doing these curls. It's doing them, you know. If it was a one knife type option, it's definitely doing the finesse work. Okay, I'm good to go with this, troops. The knife did good. I don't care what anybody says, 5CR or not. 35 bucks. A bruiser like this, even if you don't use it the way I did, you know, abuse it. What have you got to lose with 35 bucks? And again, I've got no skin in this game. I have no vendor obligation. This is something that I decided to purchase on a whim. Yeah, I mean, it's doing good, man. I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys decide, man. Let me know in the comments what you think. You saw I went through that hard wood. I have to admit this is a little bit softer, but you know, when you're out in the field and you got to make a fire, it's not so bad, man. It still feels sharp, you know? It still feels sharp. So I like it. I'm glad I own one. You know, if your gut feeling says don't buy it, then don't buy it. Doesn't matter to me, man. But you saw what it did for a big bruiser. You get yourself a little companion knife. You know, maybe this is all you need out in the woods. I don't know. And I have my my axe and my saw right there. But this did the job, man. This did the job. All right, troops, let's conclude. All right, troops, I thought I was finished. I'm not. This wood was wet. You know, I didn't want to give anybody false impressions that the wood is soft, this and that. So what I did was, that piece of wood that I did the horizontal batoning, I took a little piece off and I processed it down to these longer pieces of sticks. I also processed some other drier wood over here. But this is the good stuff. And I just want to make sure that this knife, it feels sharp, okay? And I just want to make sure and show all of you hardworking people out there, you know, that if you're going to be buying this blade, that it's going to do you justice, okay? So this is definitely a hard piece of wood. And you can see it's making really nice curls. Now, I'll be honest with you, if I had paper, and I don't, if I had paper, this probably would be, you know, it would give the paper a hard time. As you could see though, okay, this is the wet stuff, okay? This is, don't concentrate on that. This is the hard stuff right here. Where's that stick that I just had? This is the hard stuff right here. This is what I use to horizontal baton. And the knife is still pretty sharp. Okay, at least you can make some curls. Now, let me see if I can make the a proper feather stick here for you all using this wood. I just want to demonstrate the finesse, the finer work. And it's a big blade, man. It's you know, once you start working with these blades, it's going to take some time, you know, learning curve to do this kind of stuff. You know, it's big. I like the smaller blades. However, if this is your, this floats your boat, man, and I like it, it's going to do the job also. At least you're going to spend $35, $40 of your hard-earned money on a budget blade. You saw what this knife can do. And now it is still making those curls. I feel better that I'm using this wood because it's definitely a harder piece. Okay, so now we're looking good, troops. Now we're looking real good. All right, there it is. Now you can get a real good look-see at these curls here. All right, they're not the prettiest, but just an example. It's still doing the job. Now, let's conclude. All right, troops, I got some nautical rope over here. Let's take another look. See how this does, cutting. Oh, okay, that was good. That was real good. I really don't have other camp stuff to cut, but this was pretty good. It's some pretty thick stuff. It's sturdy. It would definitely do the job out there. But yeah, man, I mean, that's a fine blade, dude, for $35. Buy it, don't buy it, doesn't matter to me. I got mine. You know what's cool is that the handles, they did a good job, man, and they're on here solid, I don't know whoever made this. Good job, I guess, man. But 5CR, man, and look at the amount of work this monster did. That's a monster right there. I don't care how you slice it, man. That knife is killer. It's just a killer blade. Okay, so I found one flaw. Okay, everything is rounded off. It's not sparking a thing. Okay, I even tried the choil. The choil, nothing. Very little. There you go. Very little, if any. For $35, man, you could, use a file, sharpen this up a little bit, and then you can get your sparks, I guess. But yeah, the only flaw of this knife, man, it doesn't spark. But other than that, she did good, man. She did good. Job well done. Mission accomplished. Nothing wrong with this knife for a budget option. It did the job. It just doesn't spark up a ferro rod. Not a big deal. Like I said, for the price, you take a file or your work sharp and you just make sure that that spine is a little bit sharper. Maybe a Dremel, what kind of talent that you have. Maybe, if you don't want to screw up the spine, you could sharpen up the little choil area, which kind of doesn't make any sense because you might cut your finger. I think there's plenty of options over here to, sharpen up this spine or the choil. Up to you, man. But as you could see, this knife is a beast. There's no doubt about it. 5CR with the hardness that is stated in the website. I think it did a good job, and it cut that rope pretty easy. So tonight I'm going to do some maintenance on this knife, and strop it, hone it, see if it needs any sharpening. But as you could see, it's doing real well, man. So I'm sure not as sharp as, like, let's say DC53 steel or Slepner from China, but I mean, look in front of you. Look what it did, man. And I think it's a fine knife for $35 for those hardworking people out there who want a big budget Bowie. There you go, man. This is pretty good. All right, troops, legionnaires, new recruits, thank you very much for watching this video and taking your time. I hope you made it all the way through. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day. Hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military once they get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides. Call those phone numbers. Check out those websites. Please seek the help you all have earned and deserve. There are people out there who love you. Go talk to somebody about your issues. Get it off your chest. All right, troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, thanks again. Let me know what you think about this knife once again. At the ready, hold the line. Take care of yourselves. Legionnaires!